Hello, and welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out, and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast. Hello, and we're live. And you'll have to pardon me. I'm going to have a cord sticking out of my head for a while because my headset decided to die right now. So there's that. But hello. As past me said, thank you to our sponsors, Fundamental RPG and Grinding Coffee Company. If you go to grindingcoffee.co and use the code RAVVYN, you can get 13% off your order, and it's really good coffee. I'm going to throw the links that past me mentioned into chat while Zan takes it away for us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a completely normal human person game of Dungeons and Dragons, more or less. This is for those who don't know, this is a weird little homebrew setting with a lot of fast and loose rules, where half our party, or I guess today 2/3 of the party, is undead, and we are all working together to build a utopian civilization where the dead and the living can coexist peacefully. And before we continue on our story from last week, let's let our players introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about who they're going to be playing today. So we're going to start with Kat. Who are you in? Who are you playing, and where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Kat, or Kat in Schrodinger. You can find me here at this time. Also, I play a different character on Fridays. I am playing Locrian, who is a tiefling, the ghost of a tiefling bard who is disinclined. He can't talk. He does not have talking abilities. His talking permissions got taken away. He was muted on every Zoom. Yep, that's it.
Excellent. And next, Calliope.
Well, hello, I'm Calliope, Lady Diatomaceous, Locrian's bestie. Don't worry, Locrian, I'll talk enough for both of us. You can just listen. That's an important job in friendship, too. And you can find me here. You can find me on Raven's 24-hour birthday stream later this week. So make sure to tune in sometime on Friday, or Friday night, or Saturday morning. See all us beautiful people. But so darling, I can tell. I'm looking at you and you're looking at my hat. I can tell you are. You see it? It's rather gauche, isn't it? I had to wear it. That terrible Terrence brought it by, and I was going to throw it in the trash, but he reminded me that it was from our good friends at Turning Over a New Leaf. So since they made it, I had to wear it, even if it's from. He did remember it was Fuchsia Day, though. So I suppose, yes. So I suppose it evens out, even if this is terribly gaudy.
It's gauche, but paired well.
Yes.
I feel like if this show were Sesame Street, it would be like, today's episode is brought to you by the word gauche. But that would be every single episode.
Every
single episode.
Well, and the other thing is I've been to the beach. And you know, I haven't been to the beach in many years, because when you get a new body part thrown on, and then you go to the beach and you get sand in between your body parts, it's very chafing.
A little gritty.
Very gritty. And now you living people think you know what that's like, but you don't. I mean, it's not as gritty as compared to when you literally have it, like in between parts of your body, because they're stitched together. I've been wearing one of those like wetsuits that goes from your neck to your ankles, and it spit it all out. So you might not recognize me because I have so much of a tan.
Not trying to bleach those.
I ate a bowl of grits once. That was gritty.
Unfortunately, Gameface is having a mental health day, so we wish them a speedy recovery, and look forward to seeing them again next week. They've been moving, and you know, it takes a lot out of folks to move, so we're gonna be pushing through this week without them, and can't wait to have them back next week. And finally, Raven. I imagine most people know who you are, but you know, same deal.
Yeah, so I'm playing Bark. Bark is she's a little rock gnome. Excuse me, and I based her character off of one that everybody knows from Star Trek, named Quark. So she's very much business minded and always looking for the right angle and best deal. She runs the tavern in the town, but she does have a sort of code of ethics. She's not evil or anything, but she will only rip off people who are bad or not her friends. So she's a little bit better than say the character she's based on, but yeah, that's Bark, and yeah, I do everything tabletop. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? Oh yes, Friday. So yes, we are doing a 24-hour birthday stream. It'll be my 35th birthday, and it's going to be at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time on the 17th, going into 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time on the 18th. And it's going to be a lot of fun, so be sure to come by and hang out and say hi.
Yeah, and yes, please do that. That's going to be an absolute lovely time. All of us are making appearances on there as well. It's going to be a delightful little endeavor. And I'm Zan. I will be dungeon mastering this weird little story that all of us have concocted together. I'm a professional DM and content creator for a whole bunch of streams. You can find me places like here today and tomorrow, and on Raven's birthday stream. During the weekends, you can catch me on Polished Cryptids channel, and on Fridays, you can find me at Brambleberry Games. I think this Thursday I'm making a guest appearance on a Tactics channel as well. I think he's running a cool game that I have never heard of before that I'm super stoked to play. Yeah, so
you're all over the place.
Yeah, no, it's almost like I don't have a job right now. So we're going to do a quick little recap of last time, and then I believe there have been some viewer contributions that we'll go over before we get started on this session proper. So last session,
sorry,
definitely, yeah.
Real quick, one thing I forgot to mention. So because we did meet the goal, that means we're getting extra crits. I'm going to roll a d2 to see who gets the 2 and who gets the 1 on the crits. Okay. So do you have a preference, Zan, on evens or odds?
Oh, I love being odd.
All right, so it's a 1. So Zan, you get 2 crits and we get 1 added to our pool. Now I will stop interrupting.
Okay, no worries. So last week there was definitely not a vampire. Oh hey Holloway, good to see you. Oh, Demon Priest is here too. Oh heck yeah, got some great folks in chat today. Hey. Yeah. So last week there was definitely not a vampire that came into town. Definitely not being pursued by his ex-lover who wanted to join him in the embrace of undeath, and that ex-lover was definitely not surrounded by other paladins who just wanted to stake said not vampire the very first second that they had a chance. There was a little bit of diplomacy, a little bit of stalling, and things hit the fan in a pretty big way. The stairs broke from under the feet of the paladin. They fell into a giant vat of sloppy, now holy joes. Were beaten soundly about the head by a skeletal kobold with a spoon-like oar. And ultimately they ran off in shame as their Seraphim deity somehow associated with a rubber ducky chastised them for their cowardice, and I'm sure they're going to be making a comeback. They ran off into the distance, cursing fates and saying that this would not be the last we saw of them. And while all this was going on, the paladin coerced his vampiric ex-lover to embrace him into being a vampire as well. And the party found the two newly minted, reunited vampire couple snuggling on the floor beneath the skirts of Lady Di.
It's, it wasn't even Maroon Day, and now that periwinkle skirt is completely ruined with blood. It's ridiculous.
Yep. So that's going to bring us to our viewer actions for today. So I think this is your territory here, Raven.
For the viewer action today.
Yep.
Yeah. So the the way that we're doing this. So John Hildian donated $40. Hildian. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So yeah, they donated $40. So normally to $25 is to intro an ally or an enemy NPC. So for this, we're doing a whole group of NPCs, namely a rival paladin order to the Order of the Rubber Ducky, which is the Order of the Rubber Chicken. And I believe their leader has a magical sword named Exkillator. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm going to let Zan decide how to introduce them into the story, but they will be showing up at some point.
Yep.
Their battle cry is fierce, yes.
Still plotting as to how that's exactly going to happen, but we'll work it out. We'll figure it out live. Yeah. So after the incidents of the previous game, it is the next night rather, and the town is once again bustling. The undeads are walking along the pier. Everyone's going about their business. The Bark's Tavern is currently being repaired, and whoa! Thanks so much for that raid.
Yay.
Fantastic! Thank you so much, Chromatic Chimera. Oh man, now the pressure's on. There's rubber chicken paladins and a raid. Oh man.
They make their enemies balk at the sight of them. It's amazing. Hi, Raiders. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. We're just getting started.
Oh, hallway secrets. I'll never forgive you for giving them more D6s. They only use them to derail my beautiful stories. Okay, so the town is bustling, and the tavern, though under construction, is still doing a modest business, selling their new menu specialty tonight, the Holy Joe.
Holy Joes.
Blessed with the sweat and stench of real live paladins. And that's where our story is going to pick up. Where is everyone at the start of this evening?
I think Bark is definitely behind the counter, really playing up these Holy Joes. Basically, if you remember that whole ridiculous trendy thing of, I think they called it e-girl water or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of the marketing strategy that Bark is going with. It's blessed with holy paladin water. Except if you see it in print, water is in quotation marks and there's fine little print at the very bottom of the page. But that's how she's hyping it up and trying to sell as many of these things as possible for a premium price, because now it's Holy Joes, not just Sloppy Joes.
Oh yeah, it even makes the mouths of the undeads that eat them tingle slightly with its holy rubber ducky radiance.
Yeah, I was gonna say that marketing is kind of. I wonder if Bark's figuring out that marketing is kind of like the Chevy Nova. Like how it turns out that means no go in Spanish. Because like marketing holy things to undead people is a tough sell.
Oh yeah.
This is mostly for the living customers. Not so much the undead that this is being marketed. I imagine the undead wouldn't need a whole lot of Sloppy Joes either, so.
Yes, that's true.
Lady Di, Locrian, what are y'all up to today?
Well, we just got back from repainting the sign.
Bark's
The
holy boy
town
bad
sign
stop.
with the new town name.
Yeah, what is the town name today?
The Proverbial Farm.
The Proverbial Farm. All right, I can dig it.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but in New Hampshire, when animals like your pets die, a lot of times your parents say that they went to the farm in Canada, or they went to live on a farm. So this is
yeah.
the proverbial farm.
Oh, I'm sad now.
No, it's great. You just
Isn't that
and
like
then
a
like
peanut
years later,
thing,
you're
too?
like, wait, but there's no. Canada isn't just farms of old dogs,
They stop aging once they cross the border.
right?
Oh my
Exactly. That explains why so many of our friends in Canada are so ageless. You know?
No fair. No fair.
No
They
fair.
don't. They
That
don't pull their back
explains
out by stepping
Labrador
on character
Island.
sheets.
What did you say, Locrian?
That explains Labrador Island
It does.
Oh,
and also the Newfies, the Newfoundlands.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well,
careful. That's where that's that's where Vanessa's from. Careful, she'll come find you.
Oh no, I'm just saying you live with a bunch of dogs.
Ah,
beautiful
Surrounded by those
ageless
dogs.
dogs, just like me, beautiful and ageless. So yes, so we went and we repainted it, the proverbial farm, and now I've come back because, Locrian, we must. I mean, you know how I hate to get involved in things, darling, but we must see whatever happened to that Wilhelm character and his boyfriend, right? I mean, come on. It seems a little clingy, but I don't know. We gotta see what's gonna happen now.
Locrian nods. I'll go along with this. Yep.
Oh, so we're gonna sort of like bustle into the tavern. At this point, I think Lady Di sort of making a dramatic entrance and sort of bustling into the tavern on her own business is pretty frequent.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just gonna go like pick my way through and sort of say hello to everyone I know and give the Holy Joes sort of a and then go upstairs and see if I can find the new vampire. So I don't think we have. Locrian, you're the head of the Zoning Board of Adjustments. Do we have any vampires here at the proverbial farm?
I checked through the zoning books and I see no vampire districts.
Yep. No vampire
And then
districts.
I point no vampire districts.
Well, see, this is good. Now we're becoming increasingly cultured. So we've got to sort it out and have them stay here. That's the only thing. Did you see how well dressed they are? Well, that veal fellow is. Oh, don't give me that look. He was very dapper. Are you jealous? I could make you a better outfit if you would let me. I could work with non-corporeal
vampire
fabric.
districts really suck. Says
Yep.
Meeple.
Oh,
I heard that and it was a terrible joke. Stay behind the bar. Don't get up on the stage. That was terrible. Bar. So yeah, so we're gonna go investigate. We go investigate upstairs and see if we can find them.
Yeah, sure. You find that the door is still broken down. Most of the repairs are taking place on the stairs today. So I imagine getting up there is a little bit of a challenge, but not for a ghost and a revenant with quite the amount of undead determination that Lady Di possesses. So you both manage to find your way into the room. The door is very obvious. It is the only one missing the door itself after a paladin's boot. And then I believe a Locrian's shatter spell was cast.
potentially.
It was what?
I think so. I did something.
I
That
think you
destroyed
cast
all of the
shatter,
thing.
yeah.
It was very dramatic here.
Yeah. Locrian might have lost his cool for a little bit. Yeah, it is still missing the door, and as you round the corner, you begin to hear soft, supple moans. Oh, honey, I love the way you touch me. Oh, yes.
Oh, cut that crap out!
And as you round, you see them in the midst of giving each other scalp massages.
I'm like, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. And I come and I sit down right between them.
There's no door.
That's rather gauche, dear. You at least need a door.
I I gesture to the lack of door.
I mean, there's any number of other rooms here. I mean, really.
What?
Lots of privacy.
We're just giving each other scallop massages.
Well, that's enough of that. So, welcome to the undead. What is your name, other person who isn't William?
Bruno. You notice that they now have a very terrible vampiric accent. Seems to be caused by the fangs. My name
Wait.
is Bruno. Yes. This new accent is very troubling.
Well, dear, you'll get used to it. You have lots of time now. Well, welcome. We're so excited to have you. Are you going to stay?
Guy, I would love to stay. This town seems so very comforting. Yes, this
Well,
town seems very nice.
Yes, it is.
I think I
I'm the
whisper
head of
in the way that I whisper, which isn't actually whispering, to Lady Di. I ask her if brown baby cows drink chocolate milk.
What does that mean?
Like Bruno and Wilhelm.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I think it's a baby bear, dear.
Bear?
A
At this point, Bark has come upstairs, eating her lunch. So she's got like a bowl of something, and she's just putting food in her mouth.
I try
Oh,
that
no,
joke on Bark.
You what?
I try the joke on Bark with the brown baby cows and the chocolate milk and.
I mean, you know that brown cows don't actually make chocolate milk, right? It's just they're just brown.
Oh,
It's normal milk.
I throw my zoning board of adjustments book down on the floor, and I'm just like.
You know, he's very jealous because he's not as dapper as the vampires. He's been in a state all day. And I said, I'll make you a new outfit. And so far, he hasn't let me. He's just been drawing more penises.
Yeah,
That is troubling.
On the note of dapper, you do see that the former cleric now seemingly miraculously is wearing a very well-tailored black silk suit, and man, is that cleric wearing it. It's a snazzy look. It's a snazzy look.
Darlings, I was thinking if you're going to stay, you should go house hunting.
Or if you want one of our deluxe rooms, I could arrange that, and
I mean, they at least need a door.
we can put you on like a month to month, rent instead of night to night. It's a little bit cheaper in the long run that way.
Is it more expensive for them to have a door? I mean, this room seems rather not to have one.
Well, yeah, I mean the other paladins vandalized my tavern, so I'm still working on getting this door repaired. It's going to take just.
That's right. It was only the paladins, those terrible naughty paladins.
Yes. So as soon as they're done fixing the stairs, the rest of the way, we're going to put in another door.
So the Bruno looks up and goes, well, this would be a lovely town to visit, but we are a little on the reclusive side. We think it would be better to avoid the prying eyes of people who dislike our love. And looks to Lady Di, standing between the two, who were only moments ago in flagrante mid scalp massage.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get you a nice soundproof room. We'll put some extra insulation up so nobody can hear whatever it is
How
that
long
you two
have you
consenting
been
adults like to
undead?
do.
How long have you been undead, little Bruno?
12 hours.
Yes. So you must be a little more circumspect. You literally you have all the time in the world. There's no need to be rude, darling.
I look at my watch.
Yeah, certainly no need to be rude or stick your nose into other people's business.
It's
Bart
true.
just sort of shoots Di a glance.
Tell me more about the Holy Joes.
Well, they're Joes and they're holy, and they taste great, I'm told.
What a pity that we don't eat. Gentlemen, you know what I was thinking?
It is a pity.
What if they lived in the tower at the castle? I mean, those mushroom people don't need the whole thing. They're just using the basement. What if they lived in the towers?
I was gonna say, I think they're just using the basement, so that makes sense.
Right? I mean, don't you need like some sort of castle or something to be vampires in?
Ah, that would be very thematically appropriate.
Right?
Does
feel
this
like
town
that's
get many
stereotyping.
lightning storms? I do not like the lightning very much.
Well, we haven't had one yet. In the past 7 weeks, we have not had one.
I mean, we are next to the beach, so I mean, storms are bound to happen. But I wouldn't say we get more than normal. It's the average amount.
Ah, very well. Can you take me to this castle? Us. Kind of blushes and takes the other vampire's hand.
Wait, I think Locrian wants to use thaumaturgy to cast lightning. Make lightning.
Yeah, just right outside the window, there's a boom of thunder, and sure enough, Bruno jumps a few inches off the ground. Seems to be a legitimate fear.
I'm just gonna
Barks.
sigh and like look at Locrian and take out the battle umbrella and put it up. Battle parasol and be like, "Come along, dear."
Mark's just gonna roll her eyes, take a glance downstairs at the clock that she has with her what is it called? Artificer's lore or Tinker. Tinker, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, the clock. You
Yeah.
go, yep, we can take you over there, but it is past 11, so I'm gonna have to charge you for the full day today.
That is fine. Did I not pay you enough yesterday? It seems like I paid you 150 gold coins.
No, certainly not 150. I remember you paying for the previous night, but you know what? New love and all that. And you know, not having the door. Well, tell you what, I'll throw in today as my congratulations for the two.
Oh, thank you. You are so very sweet, little gnome.
All right, come along, gentlemen. Let's go.
Yeah, and you all leave the tavern and march back up to the castle. Now heavily encrusted in fungal growth. The stairs are coated in moss. There are odd fruiting spore-like things hanging out of the windows, and the whole place has a distinct earthy aroma, we'll call it.
It looks it may look a little odd, you know, here at the entrance, but don't worry, they have great parties here. The guy that runs the place, he's a really fun guy.
Outside,
Like, your face.
there's not much room for many more jokes.
Just if we get started on this again, we're doing it. And don't get us started on mushroom puns again.
I think we're just gonna have to change the name of this show to Empires and Epitaphs and Puns.
Yeah.
So Lady Di is like glowing with delight at how shitty this castle looks. Well, it doesn't look how different it looks, right? Because the whole purpose of her afterlife is to stick it to the Bone Lord and the Bone Daddy, who we have not seen in a long time, right? But as long as she's doing really shitty things to them, for all the things they did to her, she's literally too angry to die. So she keeps trying to come up with new things to do that are mean just to make sure she stays alive.
It's literally living out of spite.
Oh, yeah. And so she's for sure wants to make sure this castle is as filled with not the Bone Lord as possible. So the whole bottom is filled with the mushroom people. Now she's trying to get some vampires and maybe some bats to live in the top. And that would be very thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
Do they like it? Do they like the castle? Or are they weirded out by the mushrooms?
They're slightly weirded out by the probably dozen or so 2 foot tall mushroom children that are playing spore ball outside with a giant puffball mushroom. They seem a little taken aback by that.
Logan wants to talk to the mushroom people.
Which one do you want to talk to, Locrian?
Any of them?
Yeah, there's there's one that looks up at you, and it appears to be a younger species, a younger specimen. It has a little bit of mucus dripping from its spore cap. It's almost like it has a little runny nose, and it sneezes, and some of the spores are absorbed into your ethereal form.
Oh, I am delighted by this, and I say hello. How do you feel about new neighbors that are vampires who suck?
Literally non-threatened. We have, we don't have blood, so that's fine. They're basically vegetarians to us, but not the scary kind of vegetarians that eat us. Like non-threatening vegetarians. Do those exist?
Look at how adorable these children are.
I float away very irritated.
And I'm like, look at how adorable these children are. They'll go around, they'll eat trash. If you accidentally kill someone, you can throw them the dead body. They'll love it. And they're not edible for you. And you're not edible for them. So you can just sort of live together. And, and if you need some adorable mushroom time with these children, you can just come down and have them, and they'd be happy to have 2 uncles living upstairs.
Oh, this would be fantastic. This really does seem like an absolutely lovely place. We would be happy to take this residence off your hands and put it on our back.
I pull out the book and I show them how much the taxes are for the place.
Oh my, this is expensive. Is there a good tourism industry? Could we perhaps do a haunted castle around the spooky time of the year?
Absolutely. It's always the spooky time of the year here at the proverbial farm.
I tell you what,
I tap on the
you go with the whole
in the zoning and look at Lady Di.
Don't worry about them. Tell you what, if you're planning on going with this whole haunted house idea, I've got connections. I can bring in props and things that you need, and we could do like a lead share deal. I send people to your haunted house from the tavern. You send people to the tavern from the haunted house. We'll do
Are
discounts.
you talking about that weird little kobold skeleton that is very scary with its giant spoon orb?
Who, Bob?
Yes, I suppose that's a very unthreatening name for such a weird creature.
Oh yeah, he's harmless.
Look in the
He's my
mirror.
employee.
Or did
He's the chef. Lady Di, I am surprised at you. That is downright racist for vampires.
And
I'm
having
just saying, we're all unusual creatures here.
and having a
More
haunted
than
house
others.
is cultural appropriation.
Well,
Yep.
you got me there, Locrian.
Yep, somehow we have landed ourselves in tricky territory right now, and so do y'all take them upstairs to the tower?
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like most of the myconoids activity has been on the ground floor, the basement, and a little bit on the second floor with some of the further reaching stalks. But as you climb the large, arduous spiral staircase to the top of the tower, there's very little evidence of anything foul, anything mushroom-like. You do see what appears to be a large colony of silver flying foxes roosting on the top. Maybe this place is already suited for bats. Could be perfect. And yeah, as you approach the top, you come to a heavily padlocked iron door.
Ugh, I have to say, it is a good thing I put on a new pair of feet this week. Oh, these ones are going to be worn out entirely. Now, whatever is this door? If only we had a party that was almost entirely made up of roads.
Oh, are you not able to get into the door?
No, I'm saying I could, because I'm also a rogue.
Oh.
Because we're all rogues here. Yeah, but go for it. Would you like to unlock the door?
I mean, I could. Sure, I can unlock it for you.
Go for it.
Go ahead and give me that lockpick roll.
Is it sleight of hand?
Are you proficient in sleight of hand? It's technically a skill check with it's a dexterity check with proficiency modifier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with thieves' tools, right?
Yeah.
That should be a +9. Which it is. So 27.
Nice, man. Killed it on that one. Yeah, you. This is a solid, sturdy lock, and you manage to persuade it to open with just a few delicate strokes of the lockpick, and it falls heavily on the ground.
Oh, there you go. Unlocked, ready to go.
Well, let's see what's up here.
So you open the door, and it is a decrepit living space. It is very out of style, very gauche, some might say, and it looks like it has not been lived in for hundreds and hundreds of years. Like there's an avocado sink in the corner. It's just
okay, above
tasteless.
the table. I would totally have that at my house.
Avocado?
The way you were describing this is not making it sound terrible.
Maybe if it was like shaped like an avocado.
That would make it
but
even
avocado
better.
green.
Yep.
Avocado green. No.
That's not what I want to see. That's not the color I want to see when I'm hungover.
Okay, fair.
To each their own, though.
I say, this is. How do you feel about this space? It might need a little redecorating.
Yes, I think that we could maybe do a little bit more. I don't know. Gothic, maybe a little bit more emo. I think that would really kind of fit our aesthetic.
Well, it needs to be sort of. There's a difference between sort of emo and like sort of lame emo, and then there's like sort of classically Gothic, right? And so
we
the former
really want
people,
to go for a Cure vibe.
Oh yeah, way more. We want to go Robert Smith. That's
Yes.
all the way. For
I
sure.
would say
Although,
maybe as recent as that band of traveling warriors, the Misfits, but not any more recent than that.
Oh no, for sure, surely
You
not.
did want to
And
go.
you'll find some like Spencer's quality emo things in this castle, probably from the former occupants. But I'm sure we can have you can find something down in the commercial district that would suit your taste much better, darling.
You know, if you're looking for emo, I think I do still have some My Alchemical Romance posters. Maybe even some 30 Seconds to Waterdeep. Pretty sure I've got a couple of cases of those left. I could sell them to you for a discount, half off, because yeah, they're just taking up space right now.
Well, and don't you have that whole box of 9-inch nails that you could give to them to build things?
I mean, they're technically they're 8.5 inch, but
Well, no,
yeah,
I mean, they always are a little smaller than they say they are, dear. That's the thing.
that's true.
They're never quite.
That's very true.
They are.
Mhm.
Yes, it's very strange. It's like you would think that, you know, I don't understand how this is 9 inches, but this is 9 inches too. I
Tell
don't
me about it.
understand.
Story of my life.
Imperial and metric inches.
I mean, it really all broke down once the Standards and Measurements Guild decided to disband because of their whole issue with Neverwinter.
It is true. Well, it seems like you'll do very well here, dear. And you should really just get started. And we would love to have you. And if you're going to be doing a business of a haunted castle, you could join our Better Business Bureau. We have meetings all the time. We would love to have you. And, but darling, what about your former coworkers?
I'm afraid that they will probably return. They are kind of bastards. A little bit zealous.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who wouldn't be jealous of those fancy outfits?
Ah, yes, the silk is so soft against the skin.
Locrian, stop it. He feels bad enough. Don't make Locrian feel bad about his outfit not being as good as theirs.
What's wrong with Locrian's outfit? It looks nice.
I smile and kind of like play with my toes at Bark. Like, oh, thanks for noticing.
He's been pissy all day. Well, we will leave you to it. But are you gonna, like, what's gonna happen if your friends come back, or your former friends? Because I have to say, they were rather gauche, and we just can't have that sort of negative energy here.
Well, the Order of the Rubber Ducky is strange and mysterious order. They will probably return, but it will not be for some time, and maybe in the next month they will return, but I do not think it will be this or next week.
I'll just tack on interest onto their repair bills
that
they're going to have to pay for.
That is only fair. There are other rival groups nearby, but as long as they have no way of knowing who we are or where we are, I think we will be safe.
Well, how are we going to advertise the castle if we don't say who and where you are?
Oh, that's fine. We'll go by new names. We'll go by...
Yeah, we'll start up an LLC. It'll be fine.
All right. That seems fine. And you can pay for the castle in cash to an LLC, and then no one will ever be able to find you here in this backwoods town.
It just so happens I have a program. I can help you set up a LLC with the Sword Coast. We'll make it all official, and it's just a modest fee to set all that up for you.
Oh, that sounds delightful. I am discovering I have a newfound love of paperwork. Huh, what is this in the corner? And now as the moon perfectly hits the windowsill, you see, encased in moonlight, a beautiful, kind of an odd shade of gold-hilted blade, buried in what appears to be almost a dire turkey.
Oh, Locrian floats over to it and whips out his sword and asks the sword, "Do you know this guy?" Referring to the other blade.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Let me think for a second. Boy. Yeah. I know him. He's Excalitor.
Oh boy.
He's the only little bastard that could follow you into a revolving door and come out first.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Does it talk?
I mean, it used to. It seems to be a little quiet right now.
Oh, I want to pick him up.
All right. As you make a Make a charisma saving throw for me.
Oh no.
Oh, ask the bard to make a charisma saving throw. I don't know if he can do it. I'm gonna whip this. I know it.
Oh, nice.
How was it?
All right, yeah, that's not.
So-
I guess a 24 works. I guess.
Okay, that works.
So you pull the nah. I'm gonna burn one of my crits. I'm gonna make that a 1.
Can I burn one of our crits just to be a dick?
If that's what you want to spend our crits on,
How many
sure.
crits do we have? We have a couple.
To be fair, I
Yeah.
think we've spent all of the crits being dicks. I mean, I know I have.
I might have spent one on something vaguely dickish. So yeah, now we've got 76 and 2 crits, and Zan has 66 and 4 crits.
All right. Yeah, you feel a sudden urge overcome you, and then you fight it off, and then you realize your will is too weak. But no, your will is exactly strong enough, and you do in fact fight it off through a series of daring and dramatic rolls that never happened. And
I'm just
you-
imagining like the Sherlock Holmes movie thing where like this whole fight plays out in Holmes' head, and then it like comes back to the present. None of that ever really happened, and he just does a couple of things.
Yeah. Yeah, as you pull the blade from the dire turkey's corpse, it quickly begins to age and disintegrate, and as it does, you hear the sound escaping from it that sounds like the whistling of wind at first, and then increases in pitch and in speed, and gets louder and louder as you hear a echoing throughout the tower, on the farther hills, and over the ocean. Rocks begin to shake in their place, and a few loose pebbles fall down. And yeah, that's all that happens.
Why did the turkey make a chicken sound?
Maybe Sam will tell us more about seagulls tonight.
Fuck y'all.
Maybe
Are they?
it's some
Sam
sort of
thinks
like
knows so much about birds.
maybe it's some sort of like weird cross between a couple of birds, like a turkin.
A
Or maybe 3
turducken.
birds. Maybe it's like
Maybe-
a turducken.
Maybe it's the chicken duck from Minecraft.
This would
A
not be the
dire-
first time I have introduced a turducken in a game.
It's like
A dire turducken.
maybe if it was like a giant golden robot turducken that was gold.
I think.
That
it's
sounds
a
like something from
sword.
another game.
Yes, I think it's a sword.
Oh, I look at the sword.
The sword looks back at you with 2 eyes that have 2 very wide set eyes that have grown at the edge of the cross guards, and just a gape mouth at the center of the hilt, and it goes "Peacock!" And in this "Peacock," you understand the meaning of "You have freed me from my eternal torment."
Do we all understand that, or just Cat, or just Logrian?
Just Logrian.
You... How is it talking to me? Is it talking to me psychically? Like, how can I respond to this?
Everyone else hears "Peacock," but you hear "Peacock." You have freed me from my eternal prison. It's like what the Peacock has subtitles on.
Oh. So I'm gonna have the necromancer talk to this sword for me. And tell it it's welcome.
Hey, welcome. Bookok!
Locrian, tell it to stop flocking around and talk to us in common or whatever, or just shut up.
Ask it if it can speak common.
Do you speak common? Bookok! No.
Okay.
Is this the? And I'm gonna ask the sword. Is this the same sword you remember the sword being? Is it inhabited by another spirit now?
Well, actually, this is a little bit of a this is a holy implement. I think the Bone Lord kind of stole it from some paladins a while ago and sealed its power away in that giant there Turducken corpse. But hey, now it's free, so who knows what that's gonna mean? I'm sure that doesn't have any foreshadowing implications whatsoever.
Bark looks over to the vampires and goes, I wouldn't worry too much about this. We'll get all this cleared up for you, so you don't have to worry about strange
So,
walking swords talking all night while you're trying to sleep or scout massage or whatever it is you two want to do.
crazy kids call it these days. And I'm gonna pull Locrian and Bark and be like, okay. And it's kind of a crazy idea, but I like it. If we're going to have paladins here, what if we just chose some paladins and set them up here and made like a religious district, and then they could like help keep all the other paladins away?
I hold both of my swords up and like brandish them like we're gonna fight. We could just fight the paladins.
I know, but what if we had paladins here who could fight for us? That's all I'm saying. If we could get some paladins on our side, if we have this like spiritual hen or rooster sword, it seems like maybe we would have something to work with.
I don't know. This sounds an awful lot like starting a cult.
I'm not sure we've started a cult. I think it's already been there. But I'm saying if there's someone whose sword is this chicken sword, we should be not afraid to pull it out and use it in whatever way we needed to. That was a chicken joke.
Pulled chicken.
Pullets. They're kind of chicken.
I'm not sure we should be pulling
like
things out and using it. As long as it doesn't get too culty, because I'm all one for making profit, but not at the expense of other people's religious preferences or whatever. That gets into weird territory even for me. But I do have a question.
All right.
Is this irony that the bard can't talk, now has two swords, one which can talk and one which can only talk in chicken?
Bookok.
I think it's irony.
Is that irony?
Well, I think it's sort of irony along the same kind of vein as that song, Isn't It Ironic? Where none of the things are actually irony, they all just kind of suck. Right?
Oh, it's just oddly coincidental.
Yes.
Right.
It depends. Are you talking about dramatic irony? Are you talking about literary irony? I mean, we've had a book group for hundreds of years, honey. You just...
Well, more like it's like what I was thinking anyways was like a haha, you can't talk but your swords can, but your other sword can only talk in chicken, and that's kind of funny.
It would be ironic if he got a sword that if he was trying to get a sword to make him talk, but then that very sword made him not able to talk. That would be ironic.
Then
And I think as this conversation is happening, the camera's gonna pan, and we're gonna see the freshly painted sign. Yeah.
I want to check these swords for iron.
Yes.
You want to check them for iron?
Yep.
Irony.
Oh.
This can be really quick.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Are they steel swords?
I also have a spell called Identify.
Oh, well, yeah, if you use that, then you will find that they are both very ironic. And
Okay.
very iconic.
So I don't have to use it now?
It's fine. We'll say you ritually cast it during this this kerfuffle.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And the camera's gonna pan back to the freshly painted sign of the proverbial farm with its 7th coat of paint. We're going to see 2 humanoids walking. Squeaking with each step. Their strangely rubbery armor glinting in the moonlight. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah, we'll be back in about 10 minutes, so go stretch your legs, grab a drink, grab snacks, whatever you need to do, and we will be right back. And we're back. Hello.
Thanks so much for hanging around, everybody. So we are back with our delightful little tale of adventure of undead and less dead heroes of the newly yet again christened town metaphorical farm.
Proverbial farm.
Proverbial farm. And yeah, we have the players are yet unknowing, but two figures have just crossed over the threshold of the town wearing.
Okay, so that's irony. That's called dramatic irony. It's a difference between what the characters think and what the audience knows to be true. So there you go, Raven / Bark. The more you know.
Do. Just need a little star to fly over the screen.
Looking forward to that being their own next season.
You know, there might be something like that on Envato. I'll have to look.
Yeah, so you all were still in your conversation with the two vampires, Wilhelm and Bruno. Wilfred and Bruno.
So, darlings, I think we'll leave you to it. If you want to sort of start getting ready and you come down to the commercial district and we'll get you, you know, you can order some new furniture. And if you need curtains, I can sew you some curtains. You can just come by my shop. And we'll get this sort of like little clucking sword business taken care of. Don't ruffle your feathers about it. Just go ahead and get yourself sorted out.
Of course, thank you so much for your kindness. It is greatly appreciated.
Now, one more thing though.
Yes?
Do you need to eat?
I feel like we could probably suffice on very rare steak.
We can sort that out.
Oh.
But if you know, just go.
We can do a rare steak.
We'll figure
Just
it.
top up, you know.
I read a
Make sure
note
not to
that
cook
said
too much.
it's gonna be sparse because it's so rare.
Good.
What was that, Bart?
And
I'll say yes.
snaps his book shut and storms off.
And I'll shout after it. That was incredibly moving.
Bark is just going to look at Dai and Lokrian both and just go, "You two are so terrible."
And I'll say, don't listen to her, dear. Her bark is worse than her bite.
Oh, you.
And I'm going to
you did not.
bounce off.
Oh, you did not. I'm having an extra serving of Holy Joes delivered to your shop just for that, Dai.
And you're still gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, that was it. Bark was just going to like nod in agreement, like, yeah, we can get you this, we can get you that. And then at the puns, she just goes, "Oh my god."
Okay, so you all make your way back to Bark's Tavern?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, the vampires will stay behind and start renovating their new loft, and start making the place feel a little bit more at home. And you peacefully make your way, maybe with a little bit of awkward silence and some tension in the air. Make your way back to Bark's. So you go back through the door, and the crowd is thinned out a little bit. It seems like the dinner rush is dying down. But sitting at the bar in studded rubber armor is you can only see their backs, but they're about 4.5 feet tall. Sandy blonde hair on the both of them. Great clubs across their backs. two humanoids sitting at the bar that you don't recognize.
I point the clucky sword at them, and I nudge Lady Di. I do that in reverse order. I nudge Lady Di, and then I point the clucky sword at them.
Baka.
Terrible. It's so loud.
And it's at the baka that the two figures turn around, each of them with a cigar and a tumbler glass of whiskey, or rum moss, given that it is Barks. And you can see that they are both prepubescent boys.
And I'm
I
going
point to the no smoking sign with the clucky sword.
So when they turn around, are they turning around because they recognize that sound or just because we're loud?
Make an insight check.
While Di is doing that, Bark runs behind the counter and asks them if they're hungry and offers them a discount on some Holy Joes.
It's a 13.
Oh yeah, you're real hungry. Goodness. I do not understand what is up with your character sheet, Calliope. Your formatted, your roles are formatted so strangely.
I know, sorry. It's very exceedingly 13.
No problem. Kind of hard to tell with just the 13.
Well, then I'm just going to go into full on head of the tourism department mode because we've had enough weird paladins around here lately. So I'm like, darlings, what brings you out here so late past your bedtimes?
Hey, Grandma, don't tell us how to live our lives. You're not our real grandma.
Oh, I think I
I'm not anyone's grandma.
Bark is just giggling because, they are absolutely right about one thing. Paying customers can do whatever they would like within the terms of use of the tavern.
Yeah, can we get some sandwiches?
Yeah, we'll get you some Holy Joes coming right up. That'll be some number that's appropriate for sandwiches.
They'll pay and
probably
tip
a
well.
little higher than. Yeah, it's like a sit down restaurant price for the sandwiches instead of fast food like the rest of the stuff is, but it's moderately reasonable.
Okay.
I have a plus 10 to persuasion.
Okay.
I have a plus 10, so I'm gonna figure out what they're doing here.
Okay. Go ahead and what are you saying?
Yeah. It's a 24. I'm gonna be like, oh, you are adorable, and I'll just sit right down and I'll say, you know what it looks like you need? Pie. You look so hungry. Living beings your age always eat so much. So why don't I get you some pie and you can tell me what you're doing here?
Yeah, you know what? Some pie sounds real good. I'd like some pie. Yeah, pie's great.
Well, and this is my friend Locrian. He doesn't say much, but he's a very good listener. And I'm a good listener too. So tell us all about what you're doing here so late at night.
You probably see them eyeing over the Exkillator in Locrian's hand. Well, hey, loser, where'd you get that sword?
I pull out the necromancer, and I point to it.
Nah, not that sword. The cool sword.
I'm gonna use my mage hand to slap both of them without actually changing my facial expression at all.
Oh, I want to do the same thing.
You don't talk to. No, that's not how it works. If you want
I have mage hand.
Oh, I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
I wasn't talking to you about not being how it works. I was talking to the chicken boys, and I was like, that's not how it works. We're kind to Locrian. If you want, I can see that you like that sword. You're not going to get it back with that attitude. More pie?
Yeah, we want some more pie, but we're just curious how nah, got how such a
Locrian?
schmitty got.
His name is Locrian.
Really, he looks like a schmitty to us.
Well,
I'm gonna cast a zone of no. Hold on.
you look pretty schmitty to us too. We can, you know.
Park comes back, sets down a couple plates of Holy Joes,
We can
and
make
looks at
some
Locrian and goes,
pie.
No. Locrian looks shady, is the term you're looking for, because, you know, they're a shade.
That's funny.
It's a pun, get it?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
what a dad joke.
Fly in here.
Am I right? Are you gonna cast Zone of Truth on them?
I'm thinking about it. Should I?
Yeah. That's going on.
Okay.
That's going on inside of Lady Di's head.
I cast Zone of Truth.
Cool. All right.
So, will save?
It looks like a will save. Yes, I'm gonna need y'all to make that same charisma saving throw.
Oh, charisma save.
I'm gonna
I
need.
also have to make that.
I
Yes.
love. This is my favorite.
22.
Ooh, nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
And what's the spell save DC?
It's 15.
15. Okay, one of them is gonna save. And yeah,
Do I
what was
switch-
the
Probably
the
not.
one on the right?
Okay.
Is gonna save.
And I think Locrian and Lady Di's eyes get exceedingly big, like those kittens, you know, and they look like so truthful and adorable and like sweet, and they're like, just tell us all about it, honey. What brings you here?
We're looking for a holy sword.
Well, I think we found it, right? What are you gonna do with it?
We're gonna use it, and we're gonna go on a holy crusade. Probably we're gonna make a treehouse fort, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
That does sound awesome. And I'm like kicking it, Locrian, under the table.
You know, if you need to set up a tree house, I've got a connection with a lumber yard. We could get you some nice 2x4s, some real quality pine work. There's plenty of trees right out back we could set you up with.
You know what would make a really good crusade too? Market. You know, I'm just thinking. I just so wish we had paladins that lived here in town who could help protect the town and this very special sword against, other paladins who are not as holy.
What, you mean other people coming here? We're not the first ones coming to look for the sword?
Mm-mm. And you're gonna have to protect it.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, we get treasure hunters looking for that sword at least once a week. I'd say.
I need a diplomacy check from Di and a deception check from Bark.
A diplomacy
Absolutely.
check.
Also, wait, no, Bark, you saved. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah.
What about deception?
Not
Nat
diplomacy, I
20.
mean persuasion.
Oh, I just did. Oh.
Another nat 20.
It was. I pressed it on deception by accident. Can that work? I have persuasion is
I mean, we'll still count the we'll still
Also.
count the nat 20.
what?
I said we'll still count the nat 20. I won't make you roll the dice again. Is your modifier the same?
It is. So it's a 30 either way.
Man, fuck y'all. God damn it. Fucking zone of truth and shit.
Did you who failed other than that one kid? Is
Just
that
the
it?
one kid.
Okay.
Just the one kid.
And we're just dripping sincerity, and we're like,
What kind of crusade?
Oh yeah, it's sometimes twice a week.
I turned to the sword. I turned to my sword, and the bone mancer, the necromancer, and I ask it, ask them what kind of crusade they're going on.
Hey kids, what kind of crusade are you going on? We are here to. Oh, that was the wrong voice. We're here to, play pranks on play the best pranks on folks. We're the Order of the Rubber Chicken. It's really great. No girls allowed. We stay up past our bedtime. We smoke cigarettes.
So you think you're tough? I ask with the sword.
I'm like kicking. I'm kicking you, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Locrian, draw some penises. Do it. Draw some penises on Bark, where she can't see. This is how we're gonna win them over to our side.
Oh my god.
Hey, thank you so much for that tip there.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is 2d6.
Excellent.
Let her add 2d6. I'm presuming that is to the cast.
All right, I'm gonna.
For Lady Di.
What? Sorry, I was distracted by Meeble in the comments making a lot of jokes.
Schwartzwalker donated $4 and gave us 2d6 for the cast.
Yay!
Hey.
Was too late, but you didn't need those d6.
No, God, that would have been a 44 persuasion or 42 persuasion check. That would have just been the end of me.
And so watch this. I know Locrian's not a lot to look at, but that's part of what makes him such a good prankster. He's OP. He's the unoriginal prankster. Look at this. Look at what he's gonna do to Bark.
So Bark's standing right there. Can I hear this?
Make a. What's your passive perception, Bark?
16.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you hear this.
And I'm like, play along.
Like you were like just whispering, right?
Can I use? What can I do
Well,
with
I think I could
thaumaturgy?
do it in my mind to Locrian.
Thaumaturgy allows you to make like smells and sounds and stuff.
I'm just sort
Yeah,
of
if you're
like.
doing it telepathically, then Bark wouldn't know, I guess.
Well, I mean, if I was whispering, it would just be for effect, so that you could hear me. So I could be like dramatically stage whispering. You know?
So I think I'm gonna start making fart sounds every time Bark makes a a step.
Just.
Yep.
Yeah, they think that is fucking hysterical.
Bark's just looking at Locrian like, why?
They are cackling.
Hey, left child, do you have parents or other family members who are also coming here?
No, we're the Rubber Chicken Guild.
Oh! I talk to the sword and I tell the sword to ask the children if they want to be dead.
But in a nice way.
Like,
Do you want to be dead?
So,
but in a nice
what
way.
I'm picturing in my head, Locrian's like totally like oblivious to how that sounds to living people,
Right.
and just like, and I don't know if the sword is oblivious, but like that's where Locrian was coming from. Locrian has been dead for 250 years. Like,
I
dead's
think
fun, doesn't it?
I think they say like that would suck. We would be going through puberty for all eternity. That would suck.
You'll never get old.
This is very wise. You are so wise. More pie?
Yeah.
So what if you stayed here and protected us? I mean, especially this sword, you know, it chose Locrian.
I mean,
I could be your new patron saint. Tell them I could be their new patron saint.
Baka.
Not that. No, not you. Other sword. Both sword at the same time.
I cannot do two voices simultaneously.
I can make the chicken one for you.
Okay, sure.
He says that they can be your patron saint. I don't understand what's going on here anymore.
If we're gonna have chickens in this, I'm gonna bring my real chickens in.
Oh, you should definitely bring your real chickens in.
They're sleeping right now, but for next time.
We adjust their bedtime for us next week?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
If I know ahead of time, I just have to go wrangle them.
Bark is just behind the counter, just elbow on the bar, face palm, shaking her head.
I think I make squeaky noises.
I just don't know with you
time.
all this week. I just don't know.
Every time she shakes her head, I'm gonna make squeaky noises coming from her neck.
We can't let you be our patron saint. That's the chicken. But we can let you into our club if you want.
Nah.
There's a pretty tough initiation ritual. You're probably not. I mean, you're probably not ghost enough to get it done. You're just a little too schmitty.
I laugh. Can I laugh? If I can't talk, can I laugh?
You could like silently slap your knee, maybe.
I'm going to I want to make like a very scary laugh. I don't know how to do that without.
I don't probably do that with thaumaturgy.
Don't you have? Yeah, I was about to say you've got thaumaturgy, so you can make sounds.
Yeah, I will make a very scary and spooky laugh, and I want to intimidate them with it.
Okay.
I will try to roll intimidation. What happened to my mouth?
Can I assist by giving some story about Locrian's laugh and what happens when you hear it?
What's the story?
So Bark is going to lean up and go, I pay attention because when Locrian gets a laugh, I mean, that's close to it. But when Locrian gets the laugh that's just a little bit louder than that, a little bit higher, it can make your ears bleed and you start hallucinating. You'll start seeing things all through the night. It's really, really trippy and really rough. So, he hasn't done that laugh yet, but he's getting close to it, so I'd listen.
All right, so go ahead and make that check with advantage then, Locrian.
So, I'll roll it. I rolled a 1, and I'll roll it again. Oh yeah, the 23 is gonna stay.
You sure you don't want to use that other one? Are you sure you don't want to go for the 2?
Nah, I'm gonna stay with the 23.
Okay. They look a little spooked.
Well, I mean, we our patron saint's the rubber chicken. We can't have a new patron saint. We're trying to be nice by letting you join our club. I mean, you got a good sense of humor, Schmitty.
I become disinterested in what they have to say.
So
I'm like turning a cold.
Oh, he's gonna haunt you later.
They can't even get my name.
You two are so haunted.
I think so. Lady Di is basically. It's not that she's interested in having like teenage boys around or like pre-teen boys around, because there seem to be like a lot in a different way than Lady Di is a lot,
Mm-hmm.
But she's really got this idea that paladins are going to keep coming unless we have like a group of paladins already. Right? Like, I think she has this idea that maybe, like, if there were paladins in the territory, then other paladins would be like, oh, there's already paladins in this territory, and would move on.
Mm-hmm.
And so
They're
she's
not
trying.
hummingbirds.
Right. Like, she's kind of got that idea that they're like hummingbirds or some other kind of like territorial animal. And I think she's looking at these and being like, I would so much rather have these kids who we can intimidate or persuade to do more or less what we want than those like rubber ducky people who were very unreasonable. So she's just trying to like ply them with pie and get them to stay here in hopes that that sort of the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know.
Mhm.
So, gentlemen, did you know that we have, and I'll tell you this, but you can't tell anyone.
What?
Well, you gonna promise?
Yeah, pinky promise, yeah.
And I think when I go to pinky promise them, my pinky rips off.
Oh God.
Because it's just, and then I just put a new one on for the next one. And I just look at them really carefully. I'm like, sew it back on. And I keep going. Like, okay, we take pinky promises really seriously. We have wiener dog. Wear wiener dogs here.
I mean, that sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, never mind.
I have.
Wear wieners. I mean, right? Come
Oh
on.
my god.
It's good
Oh
stuff.
my god. Oh my god.
You gotta come.
Oh my god.
You gotta come hang out with us.
I have an idea for something for Bark to do.
Okay.
Could we say that Bark has some sort of spirit in the facility that causes mild hallucinations? Like it's super strong alcohol that when you get drunk on it, you see stuff.
Yeah, like an absinthe kind of stuff.
Yes, thank you. That I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Yes, like absinthe. And can I have Bart slip some of that into whatever they're currently drinking?
They're
Make
children.
a sleight of hand check.
They're children.
Bark is not a good role model.
I'm gonna remember that the next time you
just
judge
ask
me.
them if they wanted to be dead. Like, this is that kind of thing.
That's true. So Bark is just following up with that story of, Locrian will haunt you and make you see things. So just adding some oomph to that story. All right, sleight of hand. Here we go. Nat 20.
Why are y'all getting all these nat 20s tonight? What the shit?
I think it's because Fleshmaker's Folly today, they were rolling all ones. Like, it was nat 1 after nat 1 today. And Roll20's just got to make up for it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say one of them is holding, like, after they get a few more sips into their glass. One of them still kind of holding together a little bit. Maybe the pupils are a little bit big, and the other one is flipping his shit.
Bark's just gonna lead up and go, lead up to the one that's still holding it together.
Mhm.
Point to his friend and goes, "Oh no, Locrian's already gotten to your friend there. He's gonna haunt. I would let him into your club. I mean, your friend's already haunted. You're next."
Well, what are you...
Locrian doesn't want to be a part of their club. He wants to be their patron saint. He wants to be
Whatever
their patron
Locrian's
saint.
Of course, let him be in your club or your.
we told him he could be in the
Club
club.
leader.
He just can't be our patron saint.
Oh,
It's already in
Well,
the
let him
it's
be
already
like
in the
your-
bylaws. We worship the
There's a
rubber chicken.
There's a difference between a
what, can he be
patron
like
saint
your co-patron
and
saint?
a deity. You can have your deity be the chicken, and I can be your patron saint.
Just whatever it is. If the chicken is your patron saint, then make Locrian the vice patron saint.
Tell you what, if he can beat us in combat, we'll make him the patron saint.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I wield both swords.
That sounds
that.
good to me.
you're gonna need a spot of liquid courage here for this thing. Then
We're kind of sleepy. We've been on the road all day. Can we do this tomorrow?
All right.
I wield the chicken sword at them, like, bok, 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 bok.
Are you calling them chicken?
I think your chicken.
Yeah.
I think your chicken sword is calling your group chickens. It's an insult.
We're grown boys. We're sleepy. No, do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow.
Excuses.
Raven, I think that Raven. I mean,
Dude, Bart.
Raven.
I think that we can. You could sell tickets.
Could
You
what?
could sell tickets. Locrian versus 2 young children. See who lives and who gets their ass kicked. Wouldn't that be funny?
See who dies and who stays dead.
Yeah.
Fine.
I like it.
Do this
Okay.
tomorrow, and y'all can bring Schmitty. You can bring one friend with you if you want. Make it even 2-on-2. We're not gonna be easy to beat.
Sword, can you ask them if swords count as friends?
Bugger.
I look at
Oh,
them
no,
expectantly.
it's catching. Now both the swords are acting like chickens. It's great. It's great. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, sure. If you don't want to bring somebody else to fight with you, you can just have 2 swords. That's fine. Okay.
Well, I mean, I could have 2 swords.
All I
but-
can say is that tonight there's a foul wind blowing.
Huh?
I think it's going to be an excellent time. Unforgettable.
Y'all are just waiting for the opportunity to roast me.
That's what you did there.
Definitely just
Well, fortunately for us, these paladin kids are, featherweight drinkers.
okay. So the plan is tomorrow a duel. Locrian, will you be
At the first crow of the rooster. Get up.
Sure.
Do a duel. You know, I'm not going to help you, dear, but you should ask Niev. They would be such a good help. They're strong and fighty. Oh, they did give me this pretty hat.
I think, yeah.
Bark,
Yeah.
Bark runs out and starts making like a rope square for the fight ring. Is using I've got a forgery kit, so using that to like make fancy flyers that look just like flyers from some fancy fight ring in Neverwinter or something like that. Like she is just running around like a chicken with its head cut off, getting all the stuff ready.
Are people going to be tweeting about this fight?
Oh yes, definitely. Tweeting and balking.
Okay. Well, I think the stage is set for our dramatic showdown tomorrow, and I think this is where we're gonna call the session. I'm sorry, chat. I know we're calling it a little bit early. I slipped on a character sheet that was definitely just lying on my floor yesterday, and I've pulled something in my back, and I'm not doing well, and I need to take medicine and go pass out. I'm so sorry, but we're
Totally fine.
yeah, we're gonna go through and let everybody talk about who they are, where we can find them, favorite parts if they have one, and we're super excited to bring Game Face back in for this showdown next week. So they've been out for 2 weeks, and we think this is the best way to throw them right back into the mix. So yeah, we're gonna go in reverse order this time. We're gonna start with Raven.
Excellent. So my favorite part, definitely all of the puns, as always. But I was very much not expecting the order of the rubber chicken to be prepubescent children. That was pretty funny to see. That was surprising and entertaining. So I'm really looking forward to next week with the big fight. Yeah, that was my favorite part. Where you can find me next will be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so I'll be producing your vampire game. Tomorrow, your other vampire game.
Yeah.
Very different
Vampire game.
At 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, and then back again for Water at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time tomorrow. Water is it's a game based on survival video games like Subnautica and Green Hell and even Minecraft to an extent. Yeah, they're all stuck on an alien water planet, and there's creepy, possibly alien stuff happening, and possessions, and like
Oh yeah, only possibly
people being
alien.
possessed by. Only possible. It might be aliens, maybe. So, anyways, this is gonna be a good time. So that's where you can find me next. And as far as other things, real quick shout out to sponsors, Fundamental RPG, which Water runs on that system, and Grinding Coffee Company. So go to grindingcoffee.co and use the code RAVVYN. It's just like my name, to get 13% off your order. And I can honestly say, because I've had it now, it is fantastic coffee. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Calliope.
So I'm Calliope, and you can find me here. You can find me on Twitter thinking about RPGs and gamification of education and teaching middle-sized children. And you can find me on Raven's birthday stream later this week.
Yeah. Cat.
Now, I'm
Go
Canon
talk.
Premier. I am Locrian, and I'm gonna kick some chicken ass next week. Before that, I will also be on Raven's birthday stream. My first appearance, starting with Where Things Go South, which will be an hour later than usual. And then more fun stuff. Yay!
Yeah. And
What about you, Zan?
Yeah, I'm Zan. I am a professional game master, dungeon master, content creator, all that good fun stuff. Currently unable to sit or stand straight at the moment. Thank everybody so much for hanging in there and hanging out with us today. We appreciate all the activity in chat. Appreciate that $4 donation and the $40 donation that is essentially the plot for this and next week. As for where you can catch me next, you can catch me. I'm always on Twitter at InsanityTTRPG or on my website insanitygaming.com. I'll be on Raven's channel on both games tomorrow, running the vampire game and playing in Water. I'll be on Attacktrix channel on Thursday, and for the small amount of time that I'm not on Raven's 24-hour birthday stream, I'll be on Brambleberry Games on Friday. So yeah, looking forward to seeing y'all there, and looking forward to this dramatic conclusion next week.
Fantastic. Speaking of Brambleberry Games, I was gonna go give them a raid, but they are done for the evening. So let me really quickly find somebody else to raid here. Let's see. Oh, Dice Priori is still going. Let's see if they're actually still going, or if they're wrapping up as well.
Yes.
But in the meantime, yes, Friday, 17th, 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time to 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time on the 18th. I'm turning 35, so I'm doing a 24-hour stream, and basically going to try to raise money to get a new streaming rig, because this one is really, really struggling to keep up. So that'll be what the donations are for that day. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of really awesome people, including everyone here, and some familiar faces and some new faces as well. So I'm really excited to have fun hanging out with everybody. And I'm still coming up with things for the donations, but I'm sure hot sauce and weird eating of things will probably happen.
Oh man, can I
other
take
fun
part
stuff.
in the hot sauce?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, any excuse to ruin my
If-
stomach.
If, as I say, if you want to, you know, ruin your mouth to help me get a new computer, I'm very grateful. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it looks like yes, Dice Fury is still going. So we're gonna go give them a raid. Let me just type this in, Dice Fury. There's a bunch of really cool people over there, so definitely give them a follow if you're not doing so already. And then our raid cry is ask if they want to be dead, but you know, in a nice way. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody. See you all soon.